Live from the basement car park at Area 51 and broadcast worldwide in association with leading radio stations via the internet. It's the Elegant Universe. Your hosts, abducted from Melbourne, Australia. Here's Peter Gagliardi and Shane Hill. To another brain-crushing, knob-hardening, spirit-melting, brain-mind exploding edition of the Elegant Universe with your host, Peter.
Yes, welcome to the show, everyone.
The very beautiful Hayley with her horoscopes and news.
Hello.
And, of course, our special guest, Helene Murray, is going to be on the show all day.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can I correct you already?
Yeah, go on.
Helene, anyway.
Helene. See, it's spelt
Happens
Helene,
every gig.
as in the Greek goddess.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. Typical woman, that's not how
It's
you
okay.
do it.
Shane gets things wrong all the time.
Yeah.
So
Everyone in
Just
this
blame
Everyone's
Shane.
name.
Don't
I,
worry.
I do it
Don't
on
worry,
purpose.
Shane.
It's part of my shtick. Okay, great show lined up for you today with all news and all the other stuff that we normally do. A look at science, a look at atheism, a look at UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monsters, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
That's it.
Stay tuned for that.
We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to the Elegant Universe, the only show where things that go bump in the night actually get invited into the studio. Speaking of which, guess who's rocked up?
Who's rocked up?
Frankie, just
What?
in time, because he's one of those things that goes
Bump in the night.
I sure do.
Yeah, brings
I
the
sure do.
picnic basket.
Yeah.
You know?
So you let's have a horoscope first,
Yeah,
because
let's
it's
go.
they're horrible.
horrible. I thought you liked these. Okay. Well, Aquarius, this week you'll have the new jalapeno burger and get some in your eye.
Oh.
The doctors at the hospital recognize you from 2 weeks ago and have you tested for disabilities.
I was going to say, haven't I heard this one before?
Yeah.
That's very clever. I love the tag.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tag tie. You enjoyed my video, Frank.
I did. I thought it was spectacular
Yep.
in the extreme.
It was very clever. Took me like 3 weeks to put that together.
Really?
Yeah, had another one. What, you look at me like you could have done it in 5 minutes.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Well, I'm
with
not
the
saying
IT
anything.
experience that I've got. But,
Yeah.
no, we won't go there.
Went, I'm just doing it with a bit of hacking software,
That's
they have
it.
chopping software, editing. So went to upload another one,
Yeah.
and Facebook said, no, copyright infringement, you can't upload it.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, apparently, there was a celebrity in it.
Oh,
And they
what?
said, this is not, that you're not that celebrity.
Oh, no.
They've given me a form to fill out, and
Yeah.
I'm going, yeah, that's me. I am that celebrity.
You are Shane Hill.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am who that person is,
Mm.
and so I haven't heard back from them yet.
That's
Well, when you
crazy.
do hear back from them, you're going to get a blue tick next to your name,
Really?
which will be,
Yep.
international
A
confirmation that you are officially
Better do that,
Shane
then.
Hill,
Yep.
the mentalist. Okay.
So you had a problem with that as
Well, I did, because my Facebook profile, instead of being Frank Hamster, because I try to direct people to my
Yeah.
page,
Yeah.
I was on there as Aristotle Colossus. And when I went to
Yeah.
log in on Monday morning, they said, you're not Aristotle, you're Frank Hamster. Please stop using this name because that is not new, and we know who you are. And I got a little bit freaked out about it
Yeah,
because,
that's creepy.
with
They're
metadata
hunting.
collection.
You open the curtains, you look out, and there they are.
Yeah, exactly.
In the front yard. looking,
And the
yeah.
fact of being using a Commodore VIC-20 and a modem to hack into the NSA, maybe they're a little bit peeved about it.
Yeah. We
I'm thinking
know
more,
who
you look out your window and there's just the Facebook logo on your lawn.
A little
That'd be
thumbs
awesome.
up.
Big
Yeah.
thumb up.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you get 5,000 followers, you automatically get that tick, that confirmation that you are who you say you
I
are.
do?
5,000
Well,
is
yeah,
that the number?
and that is the
Okay.
number. And there was this big campaign a couple of years ago by Naomi Robson, who had like 4,995 friends, and she was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get the final 5.
Right.
But everyone in Melbourne was like, "Nah, you're gonna stay below $5,000, Naomi, because you're just uncool." You know?
You'd be like unfollowing just to make sure she doesn't get there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I did. Yeah, I did. Well,
Oh, you-
because she sent like, "Yeah, hi Frank, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Can you please,
Yeah.
get me some other
Yeah,
friends?" And I was
generic
like,
letter.
"Block,
She sent it to everyone.
unfriend, bye Naomi, see you later."
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
Really?
Apparently
yeah,
you can
it
only
might
have
be Oman spelled backwards, but I don't care.
apparently you can only have 5,000 Facebook friends.
Really?
Did you know that? Yeah, because there's a little bit of a YouTube rant. It's hilarious
Yeah.
called The Angry Black Guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's from
Yep.
America, and he's hilarious, but he goes off his face about he wants more than 5,000 Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
his whole stint is about it, but it's so funny. But anyway, talking about mini celebrities or celebrities, right? Get this. Back a long, long time ago when I was stoned, when I was thinking in great meditation one of those sessions.
When you were
Yes.
opening the third eye.
Yeah, that's it.
Was good radio.
Yeah, I know.
Which is the only kind of radio we do here on The Elegant Universe. You're listening to us on 94.1 FM worldwide on the 3WBC network. We are the only show that's going to walk up to the door of the unexplained and knock.
And knock loudly too, 3
Yes.
times with a fist.
Horoscopes.
Okay, so
More of.
Pisces. Yes, Pisces, this week your computer will get that virus where you send spam emails to all of your contacts. Nobody will talk to you for a month.
Oh.
Yeah, and they'll blame you.
Yep.
They won't understand that you didn't do it on purpose. That it's actually you trying to sell those shoes. Yes.
Of course.
What is it with people posting adverts to your wall nowadays?
Yeah,
Does anyone
that's
get
crap.
that? You know,
I
haven't
cancel
had
them.
them, no.
I click them off.
you know,
There's
I-
people I don't even know, and it's a big picture. It's like 40, a big thing with
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah.
Shoes.
The
Oh,
shoe
I've
one.
seen
The shoe
those,
one.
yeah.
What shoe one?
I just click it off. I go, I do not want this on my...
I think that's a spam one as well because I've seen people who are like, sorry, I didn't do it. It just happened.
But, I mean, everyone in the comedy community is getting it. Like Greg Fleet's getting them. Bloody Steve Izard's even getting them. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
you know, who's running
Oh,
their IT?
The
Like-
other one I get is, hi, my name is Bella. I am from a strange country. I saw your profile and I find you attractive. Please, can we be friends?
Yeah,
and
here's a
talk?"
picture.
Yeah, but no, there's never a picture. But I don't come to Facebook a lot. Here's my private email address.
Yes.
And then, you know,
yeah.
you're supposed... and the other one is, are you man enough? Take these pills and you will be.
I got a message the other day because somebody friended me on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And it was
Really?
this chick in like a bikini, and I'm thinking,
No.
oh yeah, right, okay,
Really?
yeah. And I thought to myself, okay, all right. And anyway, she messages the second I go, okay, add, and she goes, oh, you know, hi, and I go, oh, hi. And she goes, oh, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. And she's like, oh, what do you do for work? And I'm like, I work on the radio. What do you do? And she's like, oh, you know, I'm an aspiring actor. Can you go to my website and like it?
She is.
Can you
Oh,
like
my
it,
God.
right? And I said, yeah, all right. And she goes, oh, you'll have to give me your details, your email
can let-
details, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
can send you the link.
Of course.
And
yes.
I said,
Uh-huh.
just send 2 separate links. You know how you can split
yeah.
it in half, and you can and it won't recognise it. And she goes, "Oh, Facebook won't let me do that." And that's when I went, "Sure, it won't."
yeah.
And anyway, she goes, "You know, I'll do anything." And I said to her, "Look, I appreciate the offer and all, but you know, I'm not like that. I'll like your thing, but I'll you know, just relax."
Now, I mean, we all suspected this is coming from the Russian mafia, but the way Shane did that voice before,
Yeah, I know.
think that might be a confirmation that Andy Kaufman is still alive somewhere. You know, still doing Foreign Man, but in the guise of an Estonian prostitute. But who knows?
Oh no!
But who
I'm
knows?
sure I had a taxi driver the other day who, anyway.
Yeah, so I got this, and anyway, she ended up banning me because
Ooh.
I refused to give my
But you didn't
details.
She blocked you.
Well, I said, look, I'll go to your website, just send the links, and you know, I'll help out your career. And she's all like, oh, you don't care about me enough, and I'm like, I just met you. What are you talking about?
and we haven't even actually met.
Yeah, I know.
You're just a bunch of letters on a page.
And
Exactly.
then she blocked me and banned me and all sorts
I
of
mean,
things.
but
I'm
that makes
thinking,
me think. So, Hayley, do you get like friend requests from guys wearing Speedos that aren't the Prime Minister?
No, I never have.
So this is making me think that this is just a one-way street here of the bikini-clad Estonian model, you know.
You definitely do see a lot more of that around. I think I probably get more of those requests than I do from men in speedos that aren't the Prime Minister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get them too?
Very occasionally, but still.
How flattering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose
Okay.
it is kind of
Actually,
flattering and
what's
rather...
your favourite?
you know.
What's your favourite drink, Frankie? Your favourite soft drink?
Oh, my favourite... Do I have to pick one? Because usually when I say what's your favourite drink, it's anything except sand. But
Yeah.
if I had to pick a soft drink, I would have to say that passion fruit one, Pasito.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Peter,
Yeah.
yours favourite
creamy
drink?
soda.
Mine's Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
That explains a lot.
I wouldn't exactly define that as a fizzy drink or a soft drink, but I see that he was really trying with his segment.
Energy drink.
Exactly.
Is it energy drink?
It's an energy
Yeah,
drink.
yeah, it's not
Favourite
really
drink.
soft
I
and
said-
it's not really
No, I
hard.
said
It's more like the half
the
mongrel of
original
soft drinks.
question was favourite drink.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you specified soft drink.
Yeah, because he was like, this, that, and the other, and he just went on and on and on.
Anyway,
Look,
Anyway, let's
It's
get
okay.
to the news.
We
used to
have
be
a
a soldier.
story.
If it's
The
liquid,
news.
I'll drink it.
The news.
Okay, so Shane was trying so hard there because I do have a story about Red Bull, the
Okay.
energy drink.
Go on.
Okay, now I have some breaking news. It might shock you,
Mm.
but did you know that Red Bull doesn't actually give you wings?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
Yeah.
I actually did know this because I've drunk a lot of it and I haven't got wings.
Yes.
Mm.
I knew this.
But of course, their slogan is Red Bull
Mhm.
gives you wings.
Yep.
And so just recently, for some reason, it didn't happen earlier,
Mm.
there has been a lawsuit against them
I heard
for
about this.
false
so did I.
advertising.
Brilliance.
Researched it.
Brilliance.
It has been described as a cruel act of misleading, and they have been sued for $13 million.
I hope it's successful. I really do, because
Well-
this will give hope. No, this will give hope to asylum seekers around the country currently being managed by Serco, because their slogan is Serco, improving the quality of everyday life. And if you're currently on Manus Island, I'm pretty sure you'd have a beef with that. Yeah. So if this lawsuit's successful, maybe the human rights lawyers can get
Exactly,
onto
that
something.
could be used. And because the idea is, okay, it's obviously not going to literally give you wings, but it's also been tested and doesn't increase your physical or mental performance more than just a cup of coffee. And so it's been
There you go.
advertised basically as giving you an upper hand,
Mm.
and it doesn't really. And so what this $13 million lawsuit is doing
Mm.
is that Red Bull have agreed to pay $10 to every American customer who bought the drink since 2002.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. Yeah, yeah.
I mean-
Unfortunately, it's only American customers.
But you got to prove it.
Well, they can't really put that much truth in the advertising, because if they did, it'd be buy Red Bull. It gives you heart palpitations.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I mean, I think you're allowed to have a certain amount of creativity in advertising.
Yeah,
We all
sure.
know that ads don't tell the truth.
This opens the door for things go better with Coke. I have
Yeah, yeah.
personal experience. They don't.
Yeah,
No.
they don't.
No.
They don't.
Breakups do not go better
Bourbon
with Coke.
goes better with Coke, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Nothing
sardines
else.
and Coke,
No.
not good.
You know, I reckon we could compile a whole list of false ads.
Yeah.
Like all these slogans.
That's a
Could
good
put
one.
it out
That-
to the listeners.
We should
Yeah.
do that.
Go to the Facebook page. Look for Elegant Universe on Facebook.
Facebook, obviously.
And
yeah.
if you can think up a really good lawsuit, we'll back you 100%.
Well,
Of
let's
course.
sue everyone.
Yeah,
And
sue
I have
them all.
3/4 of a law degree, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm really ready and willing to provide advice for free.
When we get back, our special guest Helena is on the show. One of Melbourne's top female comics. Here we go again. One of Melbourne's top comics,
There
who
we
just
go.
happens to be a girl, will be on the show. Stand by. Elegant Universe. The universe is a big place. In fact, it is so big that huge looks small by comparison. That's how big the universe is.
Yep.
But it's not big enough for our special guest, Helene Murray. Welcome back
I
to
feel
the
so
show.
special
Now,
today.
now, you actually have done some radio.
Yes, I
Yep.
have.
You've had your own radio show.
Yeah, that's
Get
right.
out.
Yeah.
Get out. How dare
That's
you.
right. Let's not mention another radio station. 'cause
Let's
the
not
people
do
get
that. Let's have a
confused.
horoscope
Yeah.
instead.
Okay, so horoscope instead.
Gotcha.
Yes. Gemini, this week your handbag will rip open at the bottom. You leave a trail of personal items all across the city and don't realize until all that's left in your bag is an old pad.
Oh.
Now, what was your radio show about, Helena?
Well, actually,
Helene?
it was an attempt at comedy. To be honest.
Okay, yeah.
But
I like the word attempt.
Yes,
That's,
because-
but we know that. We know attempt.
We know attempted
attempt,
radio.
Attempt comedy, attempt radio.
Well, yeah, the thing is, you see, I think because I had that experience with Pete Crofts University that we not only learnt about how to write jokes, how to put together shows, and develop all of our comedy personas, but it was also we used to do this whole getting into even the spiritual side of comedy. So basically,
What?
yeah, I know,
Yeah.
it's huge, isn't
Okay,
it?
yeah.
So we used to talk about the health benefits of humour. So
Really?
I actually had a go at
Okay.
that. I had
Yeah.
a go at this show called.
Well, laughter is the best medicine, apparently,
Yeah,
according
and
to Reader's Digest.
yeah, that's right. So I called it
Not
Funny
any
as the
doctor
Apple.
we've ever heard of, but Reader's
No.
Digest. Yeah, go on.
So I called it Funny as the Apple, which pretty much in Apple a day keeps a doctor away.
Right,
yeah.
Funny as your
I
apple,
get it.
okay?
Yeah.
But it's not a very good title because I always have to explain it.
Yeah.
So every every week I had some mates on. We played 80s music mostly, in between just bantering like, no, not like you guys. It was not as good as you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, this is good. This is yeah. Well, you've got 80,000
shucks.
listeners. There you go. But I will say who it was because that I love the station and it's 88.3 Southern FM.
And that's where we end that part of the conversation. You said at Humorversity. Do you believe that?
Yep.
Actually, I'm only pulling because I actually spent some time with Pete Cross as
Of
well.
course you did. Who hasn't?
Many years ago.
Who hasn't?
But you said character development. Now, you've created some characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about those.
Okay, well, the one that's... I did a Fringe Festival show last year called Helene Murray and a bunch of comedy characters. I always like to name
Now,
things.
you were the comedy characters, right?
Yes, that's
you didn't
right.
have other people on. It was all you.
That was me. So I segued between I don't like to do the Queen. I actually like to impersonate the Queen. And so I started with the Queen and then I went on to Sister Perpetua Vulva, who's a prostitute nun.
Yeah.
And then, and she's
favourite
Irish.
Player, best kind.
She's Irish. She's great.
Topless motorcycle nuns coming soon to a theatre near you.
Shane knows all about that.
I have volumes 1 to 10 of topless motorcycle nuns.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a
No.
real thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, I kid you not.
Thought he was making stuff up.
Go
Yeah.
to weird videos. No, it's a real thing.
It's probably got nothing to do with that either.
There's
It's one
no
of those
motorbikes in
old,
it, I can tell
stupid
you that.
movies.
There's no motorbikes.
Oh, no.
Go on.
Really
So you
poor-
create
porn.
prostitute nun characters. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, we love you.
Well, okay, well, yeah, that always sounds good, but that actually that one has been around for a while. She's been around for a while, and I actually have not.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, years. It's one, yeah.
That's what she said.
Oh.
But in actual fact, I mean, in terms of development, I can't see her developing much more than she is. So the next one is the next one is Lilith Longfellow. Now Lilith is my favourite. She's an older woman. She's 78. And she's an Australian rural woman. Now, I'll come back to her in a minute, and then I finish with Miss Polly Darton, who had a short life and then left the building, only because I couldn't see her developing either. She's pretty much... Now, have you noticed the Queen, an older person, a prostitute nun, and...
I'm seeing the similarity, yeah.
These are all the things. This is all about me. This is my
Right.
life journey. I was going to be a
All
nun
your
for 2
different
weeks.
Multiple personalities. What? You were going to be a nun?
Yeah, when I was 18. I was going to
Really?
be a nun for 2 weeks.
Oh, right, okay,
And then,
yeah.
and
I chose
so-
comedy instead.
Yeah, and I
I
was...
was thinking more she got laid and then she went, well, you know what? You know what?
No,
now
that-
that this has
No.
happened.
Sadly, that came much later. No, and so the thing is, quite literally, they are life stories
Okay.
coming out there. So Lilith Longfellow is the one that's I'm finding can develop more and more. I've worked in aged and community care for years, and so I'm actually quite passionate about all these issues, and I want Lilith to tell some stories, and so that's what I'm writing now. For a
Do
full
you
length show.
change costumes or put a wig on or anything like that?
Yeah. They've got full. So for that show, what I would do is I came on as the Queen, and then there was a little bit of music. I had a down to a minute. Where I would get off stage, out of one into another, and back on the stage.
Okay, let's hear your Queen. Do the voice of the Queen for me.
Well, that's quite easy. You see, one just needs to slow down, enunciate everything, and
That is uncanny.
That's pretty cool.
that is
That was pretty cool.
I find myself suddenly sitting up straighter in my chair.
suddenly you do. That's right. And
There's a flag flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
There, mum's out.
Oh, Reginald.
No corgis allowed in the studio, though. Don't bring your
well,
corgis in.
I don't bring the corgis.
And
because-
let's hear Longfellow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. You see, Lilith's very quiet.
That is uncanny. You know, that sounds... I went years ago, did a show at the Country Women's Association, and every single one of them sounded like
That's
this.
exactly right.
My husband and I have owned the farm for 47 years. Yes. And here are some scones. You know, they all make, that's what they're all expert at making scones.
Oh, yes, we're sensational.
Yeah, that is
That's funny
uncanny.
as.
That is very cool.
You know, I've just got to tell you, young man, first of all, Peter,
Yeah.
I've got to say, the reason that I'm speaking like this is because I'm desperately holding on to my dentures. That's the reason there.
It really does sound like community radio now.
Yes, yes.
that last album was
That's it.
yeah. So So where do you get the motivation from this? You've worked in community health for many, many years. Where does the motivation? Do you get motivation from your work? Is it from your life? Do you just sit down and write jokes? What makes you the comedian that you are?
Oh, so you can call me a comedian, that's okay. Do you know what? I think I'm attracted to insanity because I do believe all of this caper is a bit insane.
Okay, do you want to see my nuts?
Uh,
Hang on. No, hang on.
That's like.
Do you want to
that's
see
like
me go nuts? No. There was a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It worked because I saw the smile on your face. So it comes from I am old in comparison. I haven't been doing this for long. So basically, for a very long time, I thought about this and then did something about it finally by the age of 38. So, it's like a lot of stories, a lot of wanting to perform has been sitting there, and I had to get rid of all those layers, like I said, at University, and then launch. And so I'm going at it slowly, though. I really.
But you're everywhere. It's like
that's really kind of you to say.
One of the most popular comedians in Melbourne. Everywhere we go, your name's all up.
This I'm going to totally fully endorse 3WBC because this is sensational.
No, I'm dead serious. I remember seeing you. Pete and I used to run a place called the Sin Bar.
Yes.
And I remember meeting you back then, and I thought even then I invited you on the show, and it never happened.
Never got around to it, but
Yep,
now we
but
have. Yep.
Now we're in a proper studio. Back then it was
Not
a
a
garage.
shed.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't even know what it was back then. It was two guys, a microphone, and a big aerial, but we couldn't transmit past the car
Or a
park.
couple of cans and,
And a bit of string.
and a bit of string.
Yeah. Hey, but it's it grew from that into this.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is fabulous. You guys are really good. No, I'm being sincere now.
She knows what side her toast is buttered on. Okay, you're listening to The Elegant Universe on 3WBC 94.1 FM. That's your local listening channel. We're going to be back with more horoscopes and more of Helene Murray after this. Bye, we'll be back.
Welcome back to 94.1 FM. This is The Elegant Universe. Okay, let's have another horoscope.
Okay, so Aries. This week you will find a really cool crochet blanket at an op shop. It's not so cool when you wake up the next morning with oozing bumps all over your skin.
Oh my God, Hayley! Where do you get this stuff?
The stars tell me.
The stars
I can't
tell
help
you.
it. It's just what is set in stone for everyone's
Stay away
future.
from those shingles-infected crocheted blankets, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm.
We've got a really cool guest in the studio this afternoon.
Yes,
We've
we
got
do.
Helene Murray, who's been doing comedy for a long time around Melbourne. Yay! Welcome, Helene.
It's so amusing. This is also amusing for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we're not funny. No. But this is a serious part of the Elegant Universe show, ladies and gentlemen, where we get to ask questions of the comedian. My first question for you, Helene, today is: when did you first start comedy?
That's what's amusing because you've said it and Shane said it earlier. I've been doing it for years. Okay, I'm 47 in December.
No.
Yes, I know. I know. I'm keeping very well. I know.
Yes.
And the thing is, I always mark the beginning at May 2009.
It's still,
May 2009.
it's
Okay,
still
so
years,
that's
technically.
like
More than
5.
one- it's more than 1 year, so
yeah,
years.
that's right. Once you get to the 2 years, you can say years technically.
Years and years.
So you've been doing this for about 5 years then? Five and a half
about
years,
that, about
okay.
that, yeah.
Right.
And I always tag on the end that it feels that the story feels longer because I went to Peter Crofts University for 4 years before that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
In the evenings, and it just I had to shed a lot of layers before I'd actually get and stand up. And I went with his process, and the first time was at the Comics Lounge, Tuesday nights.
Yep.
Back in May 2009.
That's incredible that
Wow.
you've been around for that long, and I see you in rooms all the time performing. Now, can you tell me what's your best gig that you've had? Or do we have to play some Think music?
Yeah, think music.
Do-do-do-do.
Yeah, you do, because I feel as if there's been so many. That sounds arrogant.
No.
All of them.
There's been so many.
Well, we know you're awesome, but
No,
our
but-
listeners might not know of your awesomeness.
Oh, because you see, I don't know whether I'm thinking about a 5-minute or a 10-minute open mic or whether it's a comedy festival show. I think because see, when I did the Fringe in 2011 and did my Rural Roots show,
Yeah.
I feel as if a couple of them were my best
Yeah.
because it's just all the awesome build up, fabulous crowd, nice little intimate crowd. I don't know, everything went right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Where and there were family, friends, and strangers there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
and
you
that's
know,
what you want for a fringe show, especially.
Yeah, especially that's right. So,
Well, can you tell us about maybe your worst ever gig?
Mhm.
You
Oh,
got to have had
just-
one. I've had several.
Yeah, yeah. It would be probably at the Dan O'Connell.
Yes.
Just a few weeks ago. It was one of those situations where, the wonderful, I think, Anne Edmonds introduced me. Her and I started back, so she's a lot more, she's
Yep.
heard a lot more than me. So, basically she introduced me as, we started out together. I'm thinking, no, don't say that. That's what I was doing. Don't say that. Don't say that. So then when I got on, I sort of started a piece that I hadn't really told before. It was a true story of
Yeah.
nearly shitting my pants down the creek, which I thought was very funny, but it wasn't coming over funny, and I didn't get a cracker.
See, but this is a problem that us comedians face. If we're not introduced properly, it can affect your psyche just that little bit, where you don't have a great gig and you can blame it all on the MC, man. It's something I do anyway.
Yeah, no, not blaming Anne. Just wish she hadn't have said that. But yeah, that would probably in recent times, that was where I felt the worst. Because I don't know, how do you? Oh, I'm going to interview you back, Frank. How do you know that it's been a good one? I reckon it's all in the feel.
Of course.
Even if you've got 3 people in the room and none laugh, but you can tell. There's one giggled. You can feel it. You
Because
don't-
I know I'd be a terrible audience at comedy shows when I do occasionally go to them. I'm the type of person who will be amused and laughing on the inside, but I'll just kind of go like,
yes.
you must hate my type of person. But
No, I don't hate you, but I've come to understand that there are probably 50% of the world are your type of laugher, and I can still tell from your face, though. I can tell.
I'm still sending my vibes.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the funny. I'm feeling
That's
the
right.
funny.
Yeah, you're one of those jelly people that I like to call a jelly person, where
Jelly
you look out in the
person.
crowd and you just see this person wobbling, they're not really laughing, but they're there, they're wobbling and they're going away, and, they're wobbling away, and well, you've tickled some part of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Not physically, but metaphorically. But,
Metaphorically
of course.
tickled.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to do that to your
Of
audience,
course
would
not.
you? Wouldn't go and
But
touch
Helene,
them.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first and only and not the last person to have a crap gig at the Dan O'Connell. That usually, if you're going
I
to...
like the place. It's been okay before that.
Well, I mean, I've died there so many times, I feel like I'm going to have a funeral there one day. Now, Helene, have you got anything coming up? What have you got coming up in the future?
Yeah, okay. Well, aside from a couple of gigs that I've booked with, I was just talking to Hayley before about Kieran Butler runs that lovely. It's relatively new. Once a month at the Station 59.
Yeah.
And he's running. It's all women.
Oh, that's the one that Tamara Issa first organised, isn't it? I think she first put it together. Kieran
she
sort
may
of,
have, yeah.
he's
And Serene.
taking over the management of it in conjunction with Serene
Yeah,
Desiree,
yeah,
who's a great
yeah.
comedian, and it's just an all women lineup once a month.
And
Cool.
I was just saying to Hayley that it doesn't. We haven't been able to sort of work out why, but there's a lovely feeling in that room. You see, I was just saying before, accepting that the world of comedy is you go, oh, it's a boys' club, but I actually have never been treated badly by the males.
Yeah.
They're a bit unfriendly, but you know what? So's anywhere, any new place you walk into, people are doing their own thing. They're getting ready. They're not necessarily got the time or the psyche. They're not all like you, Frank. Really,
Got to
friendly.
earn your
come
stripes,
on.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I've never really thought it to. Yeah, you're used to being one female on a bill, etc. But so I don't know if it's. I'm not sure why. I haven't worked out, but it's a really lovely feeling in the room. So I've got one of them coming up.
That's great.
And with I've got a little storytelling gig. There's one started that's at the
Wow.
Butterfly Club.
Yep, that's cool.
That's the lovely Lexi Simmons. That's once a month too. But what I'm working on now is a comedy festival 2015. 'cause
Cool.
It's my character stuff. that
Oh,
I'm gonna
excellent,
do.
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we'll throw to a quick horoscope, I think, and then we'll be back to talk more comedy with Helene Murray.
Okay, so Taurus. This week you'll decide to be a hat person. You lose 10 new hats to the wind. Maybe you should have become a scarf person.
We'll be back after this.
From dinosaurs to dentistry and other things that should be extinct. It's the Elegant Universe. Welcome back. Turns out we have another horror scope.
Indeed we do. Okay, so Cancer. This week, your boyfriend will break up with you. Turns out, he only just figured out that you're female.
What the? That's actually happened to me.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I figured out that...
Oh,
No,
don't
it was
do
a friend. No, it was a
Okay.
friend.
Yeah, don't you
Okay.
dare do that joke.
Well, while we're talking about you, Shane,
Oh, right, okay.
Leo, you ready for your
Yeah,
horoscope?
go.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Leo, this week you will spend hundreds of dollars on mail-ordered diet shakes, detoxes, pills, and exercise equipment. You also fail to get out of bed all week. Sorry,
That was
summer
so
bod.
close,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the fitness stuff.
No.
It was
Yeah,
it was something else. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and the other bit, so I didn't get out of bed at all. It was so amazing. How does she do it? How does she do it? Welcome
I'm
back to the
magic.
studio, Helene.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Shane.
Yes, good. And of course, Peter, welcome back to the studio.
Oh, no, thanks.
Turns out we still have some news.
We do. Okay, so last week on the show, we were talking about crazy cat ladies and what
Yes.
makes a crazy cat lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
But one thing we didn't take into account is how much you spend on the one cat.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
I've spent a lot on mine.
Yeah.
You have
well,
a cat. Okay, let's get this out of the way first. How many cats?
Oh, no, just the one.
Just one.
the one.
Okay,
she's
good.
safe. She's safe.
But I
Don't you
keep it in the
quarantine her.
bag.
Okay, so I know some people may end up spending a lot on the cats or dogs or any type of pets, especially by the time it
Children.
comes to vet bills. Yeah,
Yeah.
those animals too. But has anybody spent just to buy a cat $140,000?
No.
Negative. No, haven't done that.
Unless it's got Gucci stamped in its forehead.
Well, there's this cat called Tiffany. So the
Oh,
joke that
that's
she's
the name,
basically
it's the name.
worth her weight in Tiffany's jewelry.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Who has effectively just been bought for $140,000, and
Tell
I'll
us-
explain
tell
what
us
I mean
why.
by effectively.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's a Melbourne story. There was a house for sale in Glen Iris
Mhm.
Of
last
course,
Saturday.
Glen Iris, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, they wanted 2.2 million,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't get it. They
Okay.
got just over 2 million. They weren't happy with that. Got passed in. Then they got contacted by one of the bidders saying, "Okay, we'll give you a 2.2 million if we can keep the cat."
Oh, get out.
What?
Rubbish.
Yes. So apparently, this cat
The
Tiffany
rich.
had been present at all the inspections, absolutely flirting with anyone who walked through the house.
Yeah.
And the daughter of the family that were bidding
Yeah.
absolutely fell in love with this cat. So the family have gone,
That
"We'll give you the 2.2 million
Oh,
if
whoa,
you
whoa,
give
whoa.
us
In
the
the
cat."
books.
So this means they actually bought the house because of the cat.
No, because their daughter went, if you don't buy the house, then I can't have a cat.
Yeah, if you don't buy it, I'm going to hold my breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the oldest trick in the book. It's the same as like putting the smell of cooking food. Have you done this, Helene?
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
selling and it's cooking
onion.
food. The curtains are clean. You have that family. You put it specifically put cushions in proper places to make people want to
There
buy
was
the
an
house.
experiment they did years ago where
Yeah.
what they did is they got food and it was normal meat and they labelled it like roadkill, like
No.
you know,
Kangaroo.
raccoon
Kangaroo.
kebabs and stuff like this. I think this was in America where
Oh,
they did
right.
it, so it was all American
Yeah.
roadkill, whatever that is, and nobody bought it. Surprise, surprise.
Radiator
But what-
raccoon.
But what they did is they did an experiment where they put up speakers with the sound of cooking food,
Right.
and a fan that blew
Yeah.
the smell out
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
into the, and you wouldn't believe how many people started buying the food regardless of it being roadkill.
Yeah.
Oh my
True
God.
story.
Or apparently
Wow.
They
roadkill.
prove that
Yeah,
the
so-
thing that people are attracted to when it comes to food is hearing cooking and
Yeah.
smelling it, and that's it.
Wow.
Or the comforting sound of Tiffany purring
Yeah.
away in the house.
Exactly.
Seducing you.
And so you could say everybody's happy because the family got to sell their house and the other family gets a cat.
Oh.
Cat's not happy.
Except,
Now,
well, yeah, the cat might not be happy, but
No.
also the cat's owner is the son of the people that own the house. His name's Sam. He's 19 years old, and he bought the cat himself 4 years ago,
Oh.
and he's missing out. His parents get their house sold, and he loses his cat.
So the parents agreed to it, even though it's his cat.
Yeah,
Sue the
and
parents. Sue the
I
parents.
believe
no,
now.
I'd be dad. $134,000.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
think
that's
they
what I
said
mean.
something
Cut.
about maybe letting him have 20,000 or something, but his cat just sold for
Yep, that's how much he should get then.
Did you say this happened in Melbourne?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Glen Iris.
Good Lord. And did you also say that it was say the amount again?
140,000.
Have we checked how old this cat is? I mean,
4 years.
oh,
So
okay,
they're
yeah.
hoping-
It could be another
yeah.
16 years. Yep. No,
Could
Got some
be.
good mileage on it.
But
Yeah,
you
no,
really
As long
don't
as
want
it
it to
doesn't-
get run over by the rubbish truck this week.
Oh, could you imagine that?
I think it should have a Facebook page.
Why
doesn't it?
Surely
Yes.
it does by
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it needs the official
Tiffany.
tick next to its name.
$140,000 worth of pussy. That could be the page. That could be the page.
It had to be said. Thank you. It had to be said.
Like me now.
Yeah.
Go easy.
Yeah. Okay, let's have another horoscope.
Okay, so Virgo, this week you will buy a Red Bull and actually fly. Now you can't get your $10 back.
You're listening to The Elegant Universe. We'll be back with more conspiracy theories from Frankie after this. Along to Greensboro, to the place where you've hidden the glove puppet. It's The Elegant Universe. Welcome back to the show. It is time, once again, for another horoscope.
Okay, so Libra, this week you will say LOL out loud in public. Your partner will reply GTFO and move on to someone far more attractive than you anyway.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of which, what was your favourite television show as a kid, Peter?
Flintstones was one of them.
Cartoons, yeah. Haley, you're a bit younger than us. You'll be
Yeah.
into Transformers, Ninja Turtles,
Hey.
Barbie.
I was a Barbie fan. I was Barbie myself.
You still are.
I still am.
You still is. Yeah.
Wait, were Barbie movies around when you were younger?
The first ones came out when I was a kid, so I was
Oh my
all
God.
over them.
Awesome.
And I am still in love with the first one. Is Barbie as the Nutcracker,
Yeah.
as in like the ballet of it, and
Okay.
it was beautiful. And I had it on tape.
Uh-huh.
I went looking for it just last summer,
Yeah.
and somebody's thrown it out,
Oh,
and
no.
I am heartbroken.
I've got the
Bet you
DVD.
are.
Of Barbie Nutcracker.
Yeah, I've got
He's
them all.
7
I'm coming
daughters,
over. I'm coming over.
Yeah.
I've got
He
every
has to
single
have,
Barbie
yeah.
movie,
You
every
have
single
to.
Pixar, every single Disney film.
Does Ken feature in any of these movies?
Yeah,
Ken,
yeah.
Ken is
He's
Ken in
always
the
at the
Nutcracker?
He's
There's-
in.
A
I'm
wet
not sure.
I'm
He's
not
he's
sure
in
if it was
numbers.
Yeah, I'll
technically
bet he is.
Ken, but he
Huh?
was. I'm not sure if it was technically Ken as the
Yeah.
Nutcracker, but it was the love interest.
Okay.
So
Mine was, I went through Top Cat for a while.
Yeah.
It was
Brilliant.
good.
wait,
And
did TV shows exist when you were a kid?
Yeah. Speaking of did that exist when you were a kid, let's go all the way back in time to the Flintstones, as
Yep.
you mentioned, Peter. Frankie.
Yes, look, I've come across one of the weirdest conspiracies I've come across since being on this show, and it's about the
Yes.
Flintstones. Now, I'll pose this question. Are they the modern Stone Age family, or are they a modern family that's been blasted back to the Stone Age via nuclear conflagration? Now, there's hints to this everywhere. The Flintstones ran from 1960 to 66, right? It
Yeah.
was created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, better known as Hanna-Barbera, producer of a lot of cartoons. Now, that was during the height of the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis, and there's been hints that this is actually about a modern family living in Stone Age conditions brought about by nuclear war. And those hints are very subtle, but they're there. One of them, the Flintstones celebrate Christmas. There was no birth of Christ in the Stone Age. There was nothing to
Ah, yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
that's one. That's a big one.
Okay, I can. I don't know if this is in your list, but I can. As a kid, I can remember going, "Why is there a drive-in cinema there?
Well, there you go.
What
There
is
you
that
go.
all about?"
Yeah, a drive-in cinema. You know, we
Yeah.
didn't have cinema before or during the Stone Age.
Yeah.
The other hints. There's an airline that operates in the Flintstones, and it's Qantas. Now, what would the Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Service be doing operating in the Stone Age? Because, I mean, this is obviously to prove that Australia survives the nuclear conflagration. Now, there's other hints, like the animals that they have. Are they really Stone Age animals, or are they post-apocalyptic mutations?
Well, they had a
Genetically
mammoth.
engineered.
yeah, you know, born out of high doses to gamma radiation. Now, I mean, look, I've been looking at that baby elephant vacuum cleaner, and it sucks
Yeah.
better than a Dyson. So I'm
Right.
sort of thinking that, you know, animals have grown intelligence, but they're still subservious to humans, but they're
Yeah.
providing, you know, technical assistance. They've got an
You haven't seen
animal-based...
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
yet, but
go on.
Exactly. And I mean, think they still have a banking system. Fred Flintstone goes down to the Bank of Bedrock, chisels in his deposits. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have a barter system, which obviously operated in the Stone Age. Now, I've tried to look for other hints in other Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and they're there, right? They're really there. There's a bunch of them. Now, for example, Grape Ape. A 40-foot purple ape.
Yeah.
Right.
That's obviously what happens when you're exposed to heaps of gamma radiation. I've seen the Hulk. I know what happens. He's walking around. Beep, beep. You know, it's got to do with nuclear war. This is not out of some cartoonist's imagination. Quick Draw McGraw. How the hell can he operate those 6-shooters with his hoos unless they're mutated into thumbs and forefingers, right? Yeah?
Hell, kabong.
Look, I found another one. Josie and the Pussycats. She's basically Lady Gaga with a tail.
Yes.
Now, I mean,
you're right.
which Lady Gaga probably may appear one day with a tail, which makes me think that, you know, there's been some sort of vision of the future going on here. Now, if you think I'm getting really crazy with this,
We do, but go
hold
on.
on to your hats. Hold on to your
There's
hats.
more.
This conspiracy theory has its origins in a certain episode that Hanna-Barbera made in, I think, in the 90s, which was the Jetsons meet the Flintstones.
Yep.
And the premise of that was the Jetsons were going to travel back in time and George Jetson bumps into Fred Flintstone.
Right.
Yeah,
But when they get in the time machine, if you look closely at the dial that weighs between past and future, the dial's actually set in the future. So where they land is in the future. That's where they find the Flintstones in a totally bombed out North America. Thank you, Vladimir Putin. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. In a nutshell, the Flintstones is about our post-apocalyptic future, not about a Stone Age family.
Wow.
One of the best laughs I've ever had was in an episode of Harvey Birdman, where the Jetsons came back.
That's right.
And they go, "We're from the future, the year 2000." And Harvey looks at his calendar and it's 2006.
Yeah, I know. How funny is that?
Well, I mean, the trial that Harvey Birdman did for Grape Ape was amazing because that was basically about steroid abuse.
Yes. Yeah. And
anyone's
there was
seen
another
that.
cool one where there's a bunch of cartoons that came out. They're all the same as
they're all counterfeit of each
counterfeits of each other, and he had to prove that. That
Which was the original,
And
Now,
it was
ladies and
Scooby.
gentlemen, if you are listening to this conspiracy and you have your doubts, go to our Facebook page, put your doubts up there, and I want to hear any other explanations you might have for why Josie and the Pussycats look the way they do, because they look pretty sexy, but they've got a tail. I want explanations here, and I reckon it's radiation exposure. If you've got any other ideas, I want to know.
So basically, the day that we see Lady Gaga wear a tail, we know we've all got to go down to bomb shelters and pray for the best.
That's it.
Yeah.
You've got it in one. You have
So
got it in one.
Hanna-Barbera are the Nostradamus of our age.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
They've hidden messages about our possible future.
This is
in their
correct, Shane,
cartoons.
and Lady Gaga is the portent of a horrible future.
You're listening to all of this on the Elegant Universe, and we'll be back, hopefully, if there's no apocalyptic world-ending thingy. Calendar runs out. We just get a new one. We'll be back.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the Elegant Universe. Frankie,
Yes.
what's going on?
Oh, look, what do you mean what's going on?
What's
I'll tell you
going
what's going on. We've still got Helene Murray in the studio, and I reckon we should talk about...
What should we talk about? About?
Well, the festival season's fast approaching. It's the
I
2015 Melbourne International Comedy Festival running March through April, and you've got a show, have you?
Yes.
What
I
is
will
your
have.
show about? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll get to, I'll gauge the reaction of these four people and see if I'll go ahead. No,
Yeah.
It's basically I'm going to do a full Lilith Longfellow show.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
So I'm writing it because it's new and I'm going to be brave and keep
So you're going to
going.
do one show as one character?
Yes, I think I'll do 50 minutes.
Oh, my God. That
How
sounds
do you
like a
go
challenge.
doing 50 minutes of somebody else's voice?
Yes, I know.
Like, does it
At
wear
the-
off or?
No. No.
Did we hear
no.
that character?
Yes, you did. You
Did
did.
we?
You
Yes.
know, the CWA one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I can always do it again. But
Oh, yeah.
so,
That's right.
so,
Yeah.
so, how do I go? I've never done it for 50 minutes, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my aim. That's
Wow.
it. That's it.
Now,
that's,
that sounds like a challenge. Well,
that's a-
perhaps...
Faking being a comedian for 50 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
Shane's got it in one. I'm a fraud, Everyone knows that, though. But, I still, get laughed at. But if I could interview, is it Lillian?
No? Lilith.
Lilith.
If I-
Lilith.
Okay, if I could interview Lilith
Yes, of course.
for
you
a
can.
moment. Lilith, where are you from?
I'm from rural Victoria, Australia.
Rural Victoria, Australia. Are we
Yes.
talking west of Melbourne or east? Because there's a big difference.
Northeast, actually.
Ah, northeast. So we don't know if we're a dairy farmer, tobacco.
That's very good. You know your stuff, don't you, young Frank?
Well, I try to keep abreast of all things agricultural, even though
Yes.
this is Box Hill.
Well, once it was, yes. Well, I think that I've actually lived. I was born on a sheep farm, Frank.
Sheep.
But I've moved around a lot. But,
Okay, now
and I've got 2 poultry farms myself up there.
2 poultry farms, born on a sheep farm. Was this a squatting property, or are you part of the landed gentry?
No squatters yet. No, my father was born here as well. He bought into, well, I don't know what you say back then, whether we bought into land or we actually took it over. I don't know what you actually say. It's politically
Well,
correct.
now, Lilith, what is the name of your show for next year? Have you got a name yet?
Yes. Baggy burlesque.
Baggy Burlesque.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
if you're
hilarious.
looking for something that's really different for next year's festival, get
Yes,
along and
yes,
see
Get along and see it.
Baggy Burlesque.
Baggy burlesque if you like old ladies.
Well, we love old ladies.
And you like burlesque. With a difference,
Oh,
I've got to say.
Goodness me, are you
it's-
going to keep your clothes on, though? This is...
Yes, I will. There's no nudity. I'm going to prove that baggy burlesque, it can be sexy too.
So it's like the art of the tease while keeping your clothes on, and is there going to be any scone surf, perhaps?
No, look, maybe. I'm thinking about parklets.
Pikelets.
Yes, I'm thinking
Pikelets,
about
ladies and gentlemen.
And,
There we go.
Also, salada biscuits with Vegemite and cheese. And also, I think what I would like is I'm weaving a little bit of audio visual. I'd like a little bit of a slideshow, and you see, I want some interaction.
Oh,
because,
audience
I have discovered that
participation.
People do want to interact with me. I
Well,
found that.
oh, do they?
I'm not making that up. Some people have said that. Yeah.
Well, Lilith, it's been great to talk to you, but if I could have Helene just back for 1 second.
Yeah, sure you
There's
can.
a
I'm
there's
right
a
here.
question I've really been wanting to ask you all day, Helene, and that is, how do you deal with hecklers? When you're performing, if you get heckled, what's your heckle stopper? What do you do?
Really good question, Frank. Can I say that I haven't been heckled very often?
You haven't been heckled very often. You've
but
been playing in places where people don't drink much.
That's right. Either that I haven't heard them. But Frank, I think the worst heckle I got were from children.
Children. Well, so yeah, it's kind of hard to give a child a verbal smackdown without their
Especially
parents
if they're-
following you out to the car park after the gig.
Yeah,
You know?
especially if it was your friend, their
Oh.
mother, who said give her hell. So the kids did, and so that was the worst because I was actually in character and I was like, oh, I want to beat them down, but
Absolutely.
I want to do that, but I've got to talk to them later. So that was a bit tricky, but really good lesson. I know what I'll do next time.
Yeah, I mean, your
I
act
beat
would have
'em
turned
down.
into a live version of the slap, and
That's
whack
right.
the kid upside the
That's right.
head,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, but I actually Pete Crofts University taught us to play with the heckler, don't shut them down straight away. Use it.
Yep.
So that's
yep.
what I would do, and if it gets really bad, I'll just call for security. Pretty
Yep.
much.
I usually give them 3 or 4 goes
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've got a lot
Something
of heckle
can come
stoppers
of
and
it.
things like that.
Yeah.
Haley, have we got another horoscope to do?
We do indeed.
Are you
Okay.
coming up to Sagittarius soon, or?
Soon. I got Scorpio and then it's Sagittarius.
Yeah, me, Sagittarian too.
Oh,
Oh,
woo!
you're both Sagittarians. How cute.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Scorpio. So Scorpio, this week you will buy yourself a sub as a healthy dinner. Extra cheese and sauce actually make it twice as fattening as your usual nuggets order.
Oh, God.
Sagittarius.
That's us.
Ooh, Sagittarius. This week, all of your hair will fall out in the shower. Time to break
Why?
out the bandana.
How did you predict that? I've been plucking huge clumps out of my plug hole all week. This is, ladies and gentlemen,
dear.
Haley
Have you?
Haley of the Elegant Universe is one of the most sage individuals in Melbourne. I swear to God, go to her page and check stuff out. That's Haley from the Elegant Universe
Yes,
on
it is.
Facebook. Now, Helene, I've got to ask you before we
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
round things off.
yeah.
Do you have a social media presence?
Yeah. Yes.
You do.
I'm there. I'm there. It has to be improved. All right. Lilith's on it at the moment. Yes.
So you have a fan page. Where can we direct your fans, our listeners?
Look, just look up Helene Murray. You can see what I've got there. But I have to improve all that. I've got to say. I'm going to today. after today, because you guys, just raised my vibrations.
Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, in order to find Helene, I reckon you go to the Elegant Universe page on Facebook. That's the Elegant Universe. Type it into Facebook, like it. You'll get all our feeds. There'll be photos of Helene up there later. Links to her page, links to Hayley's page, links to mine, links to Shane, links to Peter's, and all the...
Links
Peter doesn't. Peter. Oh, that's.
Thanks, guys.
Well, okay. Until the court lifts the suppression order, Peter doesn't. Peter will not have a Facebook profile as yet. But the full bench of the Supreme Court may think otherwise at a later date.
That's right.
I like how you respond to that in shallow tones. But, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to a break. When we come back, more from the Elegant Universe.
Welcome back to where it's all happening. You're part of the universe. We've just made it very elegant. Another horoscope.
Okay, last one. So Capricorn, this week you will go to shower and the plug hole will be blocked. Someone else's hair keeps getting between your toes too.
This is an indication of who we live with. Yes.
Hairy
Or the
people.
cat is out of the bag. Okay, it's time for our gig guide. We do this every week because almost everybody on the show is some sort of a kind of a type of an entertainer or fringing the entertainment industry. So, Frankie, what gigs have you got coming up?
Oh, look, I've got a bunch. Tuesday night on the 21st, I'll be the MC at the newly launched Jackson's in Toorak, which is 5 Jackson Street, Toorak. Used to be Sugar Laughs, ladies and gentlemen, but it's now called Jackson's in the old track entertainment venue. Then on Friday night, I'm doing a very big charity benefit gig at the Mechanics Institute Hall in Ballarat. Big 500-seat hall. Just joking for Jackson. Me, Shane Bourne, Elliot Giblet are raising money for a sick and dying child to go to New York to see the New York Knicks. Then I've got a gig in Mount Eliza at the Mount Eliza Country Club called The House That Jack Built. We're raising money, a whole bunch of Melbourne comedians raising money to build a house for another sick child that lives on the peninsula. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, stand-up comedy, saving the world, one joke at a time.
Yes. Look at you all around the globe, and zipping and zapping and being popular and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Very big in Mornington.
Helene,
Yeah, okay, well,
gigs.
let's see. I've got that storytelling gig in at the Butterfly Club.
I heard about this.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I did the Butterfly Club ages ago and had a lot. They're absolutely amazing place. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. There's just the paraphernalia in the waiting areas is like totally cool, and yeah. So
And Shane really knows what's totally cool. He really does.
What a cheap shot. That was great, though.
yeah, for what you shit from you, I'll squeeze your head, Haley. Okay, so
Yeah, so that's just if people are interested in that one. It's on a Sunday night. It's like 5:30 till 7:30. Very very.
so it's an
civilised.
early gig, and
Yeah,
anything,
and it's storytelling. And I've got to tell
any
you,
swear words?
it's pretty open.
Oh, cool.
Any kind. Usually there's a theme.
Yep.
So basically, what's cool about that is that it's so different and it's so not like a stand-up gig. Yeah, the love in the room's wonderful. So that's in at the Butterfly Club. That's the second Sunday of the month, and then I've got a Yes Only Women one at Richmond very soon.
So go to our Facebook page and hook up with Helene's Facebook page,
should
and
have
of
all-
course Frankie's Facebook page, which will be full of stuff. Be full of stuff. Okay,
It's full of
Haley,
stuff.
no gigs.
No, I'm just buckling down and doing my uni work and crying myself to sleep. Yeah.
Question. Helene, what advice would you offer anyone, male, female, young, old, anyone who was getting into comedy and was sitting at home listening to this show, watching TV, watching the big gala comedy thing from Canada and going, I can do that, I'm pretty funny. What advice would you give to someone who was just getting in, who wanted to get into comedy? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I would say just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just get into it. And it's a long journey. That's all I'd say because it's very complex, and so getting in, starting, hooking up to Facebook, isn't it fantastic that now you can actually, in Melbourne anyway, you can look up all of those different gigs. Like that didn't exist 3 years ago, so that makes life a bit easier to crack into it, I think.
Cool. Peter, any gigs?
No, other than your ones.
Yeah, which are too many to mention at the moment. We're really busy, and I'm getting so tired. However,
Tell us about one then, just one.
We're doing it's a charity fundraiser for the Something Beginning with S Disease Foundation.
Yes. Yep.
SIDS?
No, it's like $290 a ticket.
Wow.
And as usual, I'm in the background making him look good. He gets all the glamour and the fame and the money.
There's always a good bloke behind another.
Well, behind every successful man is an idiot supporting him. Okay, so on behalf of myself, as usual, and the crew, I'll ask you, dear listener, to do 3 things.
3 things.
Be safe, be kind to small animals and children, and dream great dreams.
Couch.